Hey guys, so it's Magic. So the topic for today, I just wanted to kind of sit down with you guys, open up and discuss a little bit about stigmas around mental health and one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to seek help into improving their mental health. I guess I can start off by, giving the reasons as to why I was having a hard time going about getting help. And of course, when it comes to the stigma of mental health, a lot of people think about, how society views mental health and how society treats people with mental health issues. But in reality, we do have to take a look at it and think about how we treat people who are dealing with mental health issues, because the stigma around mental health is more of an internalized thing than we really know. We actually deal with mental health on a daily basis, but when it comes to mental illness, when we think about mental health, that's really what we're thinking about. We're thinking about the mental illness aspect of it. So somebody being diagnosed with anxiety disorders, somebody being diagnosed with depression, someone that has bipolar, schizophrenia, anorexia, some type of mental illness that's affecting their life. A lot of people have a hard time separating mental illness from just overall general mental health. Now, mental health is really just, how you cope with stress, how you deal with your day-to-day issues, how you deal with your ongoing life, how you effectively live your life, right? With that being said, personally speaking, I had stigmas when it came to mental health. When I was going through, I guess my anxiety and depression and things like that, my biggest thing for not getting help was I felt that if I was to go get help and that I am going to reach out to a doctor or a professional of some sort, that really, they're just going to label me. They're going to sit there and say, oh, well, you got this issue, you got that issue, you need to take these medications. These medications is what's going to treat you. You need to come see us 5 times a month during a session every month. And I didn't want to go through any of that. I was very reluctant to open up and seek help, mainly because of the fact that everybody I tried to put me on some kind of medication, whether it's antidepressants, they try to put me on medication for anxiety, and I'm not really a person that wants to take medication. Now, don't get me wrong, I do feel that people who are suffering from mental illness do need to take their medication because it is more of a chemical imbalance in the brain than anything. But mental health is really just your state of mind and how it is. So for me, reaching out to professionals, it was very difficult because, again, I'm not trying to go and sit with a doctor and have them sit there and say, well, okay, you're telling us these things, we think you're crazy. Or you're telling us these things, you need to go and check yourself into a mental hospital. A lot of times people don't like to open up with people that they know because, again, the same stigma. You tell somebody that, hey, you know what, I'm going through anxiety. A lot of people have no idea what anxiety is like. So if you're trying to explain that to somebody, they're not going to really understand it. So again, then it's not going to be of any use to you to kind of open up to people who don't know what you're going through. And then you're just letting people know your personal business, right? Nobody wants to have people know their own personal business and of what they're going through. It's a lot more difficult to share what you're going through internally, especially if you don't really understand what it is that you're going through either. For me, it was like that for a long time. I never really, acknowledged the depression that I was going through. I'm not going to say I was depressed and, I'm a sad person and I'm constantly sad every day. But again, you have moments in life where you feel depressed and that's perfectly normal, but again, going on medication is not something that I want to do, and that's kind of why I wanted to help remove the stigma around mental illness, because mental illness and mental health are, again, 2 separate things under one umbrella. You want to look at them in separate areas. So when we are talking about mental health and mental fitness, you want to have that mentality, and that's kind of why I wanted to help remove the stigmas, because I wanted to help people understand the difference between their mental health and their mental fitness, so that way they can start to get the help that they need to better themselves. A lot of people just have past trauma. They just have a lot of issues, a lot of things that went on in their life that may not necessarily seem very severe. A situation like not growing up without your father, you might have had a very high quality life where, financially you weren't deprived of anything, emotionally you weren't deprived of anything, and, for the most part, your life is pretty much normal, just like anybody else that grows up in a two-parent household. But there are underlining things that a lot of people have without growing up without both their parents, whether it's your mother or your father. Things do tend to root themselves there that you may not even notice. So it's important to speak to people about these things and have people open up with you, so that way you can kind of have a better understanding of what it is that you're going through. And that's why I'm advocating so much for people just to, reach out to somebody and talk to people, get something going for themselves so that they can get it off their chest. I don't want to make this video too long or anything like that. I just really want to stress the point of wanting to help remove the stigma of mental illness and mental health, understanding that mental health and mental fitness are two different things, and that if you want to improve your mental health and mental fitness, you don't necessarily have to go and see a doctor. It is recommended if you feel that any symptoms that you do have is very severe and it is affecting the quality of your life on a day-to-day basis. But if it is just something that you're going through and you just want help with, again, reaching out is the best thing to do. You can always reach out to us on our Telegram.